All right, day 50 of the fast, March 21st, 9:43 p.m., 2024. 50 days ago, I decided to go on an instant gratification and sugar fast for 4 months. The details of that will be in the description. But today was the last work day of the week, at least when it comes to my 9 to 5, or you know what I mean. But my point is, tomorrow I have a lot of plans this weekend. I already said that Saturday I was going to go to my little art garden event. Tomorrow is the day I go cafe sketching. So I'm also going to be drawing a lot tomorrow. I actually hope to make up for lost time tomorrow because I haven't drawn in the last couple days because I was trying to get my thoughts in order. And yeah, I expect a lot tomorrow. I hope I can really get down to stuff tomorrow, and I also need to make a grocery list. On this channel, I talk about a lot of things and about confidence, small victories, self-improvement, and like psychology and philosophy here and there too. I think it's real important that we remain humble with the stuff. I mean, of course, respect yourself, love yourself, but always be ready to learn. And always remember that there's always something better. It's important to remain humble in these situations, and I feel in a way that's kind of how this fast happened, because I was working somewhere where I was making basically three times as much as what I make now, and because I forgot to be humble, I lost it. But I also felt like it was necessary to understand that I needed that lesson. And now I'm kind of forcing myself to stay here till I learn to basically thrive, even though I don't necessarily like working where I work. I know when it comes down to it, I could go find something way better, probably even today. But I want to stay here so that I can learn to work more with less, but also remind myself that going back to that is always an option. Not necessarily an option, but a possibility. At some point, I don't want to make it an option unless it's like really, really scraping by and I have no choice. But falling down like that is always a possibility, and I should be prepared for that. I should also acknowledge that. I know a lot of times at work and in my daily life, I come off as a know-it-all, and I maybe even slightly narcissistic at times. And that is because I'm real passionate about things that I do know and learn about, and I like to share them with others, and I get real excited when people say they're interested in it. But I also know that maybe I don't exercise humbleness as much as I should. I'm at the point where I realize that anything is possible. Anything. if I said it, like, I could probably do it. I could convince myself, but I should also remember that just mean that I say it doesn't mean that it'll happen. And just mean that I, like, have the ability to doesn't mean it will necessarily be given to me. I can put all the work in as much as I want. But if I don't remember to be humble about it, get a big head, then it's really not going to go anywhere, but also I'm not going to be able to reach out to God or other people or even myself. I need to learn to have fun more. Sometimes I feel like I take things too seriously. And sometimes I do think that I think a little bit too highly of myself now. But I'm not sure if that's just how confidence works, or if I'm genuinely doing too much. It's still kind of new to me, to be honest with you. And I learn more and more about it each day, and I'm trying to find the balance. But I know I get a little too idealistic. And I feel like in some ways that does help. It fuels me to do better all the time. But it also does kind of make me forget where I came from. And no matter what, I should always remember where I came from and what, like, that is possible, that I could go back to that again. If I get too comfortable, if I get too cocky, all these problems I have problem with. And that's probably why I ended up losing a job at the very beginning of this. But it's also probably because I stayed there longer than I was supposed to. And I was not taking advantage of the resources that the job was giving me. I had insurance and a lot of money, all that. And I didn't really use any of it. I squandered pretty much all of it. I should have been able to save up at least the bare minimum with what I was making, $10,000 in a year. And I only had $2,000. And as soon as I lost my job, everything started falling apart. And I went from, actually, no, it wasn't 2,000. It was like 3,000. It was between $2,000 and $4,000. And the things that happened is, like, I used it all up, and it pretty much put me back to square one. I haven't figured out the balance between pain and comfort yet. Or that's the wrong thing to think about. Discipline and comfort yet. And I hope to find that out soon. I know it's going to take me a lot of time. And I should just let it take its time. That doesn't mean I should stop working for it. Just to reiterate for my last thing, I know anything is possible, especially with God. I know that if I put my mind to it, I can do it. And I also know that just like I end up getting it, it can all be taken away again if I take it for granted. So with that being said, I hope y'all are taking care of yourselves. May God bless you in your endeavors.